States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll.
Alderman Tobin.
Here.
Alderman Jean-Francois. Alderman Johnson.
Here.
Alderwoman Ray.
Here.
Alderman Kleiner.
Here.
Alderman Green.
Here.
Alderman Witt.
Here.
Alderman Massey.
Here.
President Rodriguez.
Here.
Quorum is present.
Correspondence
Nothing this evening.
for the good of the city.
Good evening. We have one speaker this evening, Mrs. Susan Depew.
Good evening. I'm Susan Depew, as Rick has already told you. Many of you know me from years of being called the Litter Lady. It has become a very fun name. But anyway, I'm here to officially announce that we are going to have our yearly cleanup day for Middletown. It's on Saturday morning, April 24th, from 9 till noon, and it's at the new Park Cities Erie Way. It's the beautiful park where you can skate in the wintertime and have fun in the summertime. I'd like to thank all the people that have always helped me. I'm not the leader of the pack. I'm just one of the pack. I'd like to thank our mayor, Mayor DeStefano, Commissioner Tawil, President Rodriguez, and members of the Common Council, as well as all the parents, students, and children who have helped in clean Middletown and to help to make it the city that everyone is proud of. I am pleased to say that the date is in stone so far, unless it rains. It's on Saturday morning, April 24th, from 9 to 12.
I'm sorry, it's April
Yes.
26th.
April 26th. I'm glad you told me that. Thank you. Since 2011, members of the council, along with the mayor and everyone who is involved in the city, has shown up, along with people from the school district, students, parents, and teachers, coaches, all the athletes, and members of civic groups. We couldn't have done it without all the help that we get. Some of the best help is from the children. So we will do this again. Please join us. We have a new surprise for you. You have a new look this year. You'll have to come to see it. But anyway, thank you very much, and I really hope you come and enjoy the day. Meet your neighbors, meet your friends, meet the students that have done so many things, and this is part of the list of the things that they are proud of. Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes public comment.
Remarks of the mayor.
Yes, good evening, and Sue, I also want to thank you for, number one, organizing this and being part of it for so many years. It is a great event. It brings the community together, and it's well attended by especially the students, and also thanking in advance the Middletown School District for the coordination that they do with all their clubs and the sports teams. So staying on that subject, we are now,
You're done.
what's that?
You
My time's up?
Point of order.
Geez, you made me lose my train of thought here. The annual spring cleanup is ongoing. The first ward has been completed. This past Sunday, the fourth ward started. So please, if your neighbors have everything out still, that means DPW has not come down to your street. But if they have come down to your street already, they cannot come back. So they have to move on to the next ward, which will be the third ward next week. You put out over this weekend, and then the following week will be the first ward for the, second ward, I'm sorry, for the final week of the spring cleanup. All the rules are online. They're on this slide here. Please don't put out electronics. The computers, air conditioners need to have the air conditioning gas removed. Otherwise, there's a fee for Freon. but that would have to be dropped off at the recycling center. So that electronics pickup will be May 24th. Am I correct, Jacob? Drop off at the recycling center will be May 24th, and which you can drop off your computers or your appliances that don't qualify for the annual spring cleanup week pickup. Next item would be the City of Middletown water system flushing. From March 31st, starting when we started through May 2nd, we will be doing flushing of the system. As you know, that this is done, we try to do it mostly at night, but there could be disruption in discolored water. We do get calls every year from a few people who did not see the notice that washed their laundry and it had some discoloration. So the water may be discolored for up to 48 hours. So please take notice of when they're flushing your neighborhood. Do we post specific areas, Jacob, online or no? We just, we rely on them to look in their neighborhood before to see where the flushing is, because, you know, the pipes are not segregated by ward. So please, just keep an eye on it. It's necessary in order to keep our water system safe. And the system did begin on March 31st and will continue through May 2nd. Next item is the collection of yard waste, which we've been getting quite a few calls about. This is for Monday, April 7th. We will begin yard waste pickup. It will be set out on Sunday evenings. Doesn't necessarily mean it will be picked up on Monday. So please just beware, just leave it out curbside, and we will begin picking up on April 7th. This is also a service available for Middletown residents only. No commercial yard waste can be brought to the recycling center on Monhagan Avenue. That will be Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you're a Middletown resident, you'll have to show ID, but you can bring, if you have a lot of shrubs or whatever you want to bring to the yard on Monhagan Avenue, please feel free to do so. Also, yard waste collection will end November 7th, 2025, and this it consists of grass clippings, weeds, brush, branches, and leaves. If you can put it in cans, that's fine. Barrels or plastic bags, that would be best. Small branches must be securely tied in bundles, and this is according to City Ordinance 407-5. So we're asking for cooperation, and again, if you put it out on Sunday, it doesn't mean it will be picked up on Monday, but it should be picked up within a couple days. Next is the electronic drop-off, what I referred to before, and that will be for Saturday, May 24th, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. It will be at the BW Recycling Center at 76 Monhagan Avenue. It's limited to 5 devices per household. Proof of residency is required, and air conditioners that will hold Freon will be required to pay a $25 fee. And this is limited to Middletown residents only. Another annual progress, well, some call it progress, some call it annoying, is the milling and paving program. We've invested over the years a lot of money in our milling and paving program, and we're trying to keep your streets maintained in the best manner possible, but it does require some inconvenience. So this year's paving list is out, and it goes by ward. It's available online, or will be available online if it's not already available online. And as you can see, Ward 1 is here on the screen now. That's the measurement in tons, just to give you an idea of how much blacktop goes down. Now we start in Ward 2, just a couple streets in Ward 2 this year. And Ward 3, we have quite a few. And then Ward 4, Grand Avenue, parts of Grand Avenue, South Street, Stivers Place, and so on. So the proposed milling plan, you have more on Ward 4. So the idea is to get this done in a manner that would be the least intrusive to you, but at the same time, as the summer months come on, we do try to start very early in the morning. So there will be some interruptions. So keep an eye on our website about what streets will be getting done at the time, and if possible, avoid those streets and intersections as you're doing it. Tonight, you do have a resolution for the parking garage That was parking garage Phase 2, but this is parking garage Phase 1 right here. This was a grant that was received through Senator Scufa's office for $2.5 million. The bids were, we had 8 bidders, a little bit more money than we anticipated, but it's around a $4 million cost. Jacob will be possibly speaking on some of the issues today, but it is the lower lot on Washington Street with an extension of the South Street lot. We're picking up, I believe, 80 to 90 cars total, but the Phase 1 is being designed so structurally underneath it will support what we hope to be Phase 2 coming down the line somewhere. Obviously, Phase 2 will be much more expensive than Phase 1. We're not in a position to do Phase 2 at this point. We'll continue to work. We've had a lot of success in the grant area. We've already opened discussions with different state agencies on possible funding somewhere down the line for the Phase 2 of this project. But until we get Phase 1 done, they will not entertain any talk on Phase 2. Makes sense. So there will be some inconvenience again across from the Paramount in the area of Washington Street. But when done, I think you're going to be very happy, and the public will be very happy with the additional parking for both the Paramount and for downtown businesses. And that's all I have. If you have questions, I'd be more than happy to address them.
Any question for the mayor? All right, thank you,
I
Mayor.
believe Little League is coming up too, right? Little League Parade is on the 12th, so. Mr. Massey will be turning 80 that day. Congratulations.
Remarks of department heads, economic development.
Good evening, everyone. Well, the talk that's been the past couple of days is the movie that's going to be filmed in downtown Middletown. And it's going to start tomorrow. It has been in pre-production throughout the Hudson Valley. And the film is being directed by, and composed by Matteo Messina and produced by Robert Graff. Messina has written 25 original symphonies and composed for over 30 films. And he just fell in love with downtown Middletown when he came to our city. He said it was the perfect backdrop for this film, and again, has completely fallen in love with our downtown. So film day number 1, which is going to be tomorrow, is going to encompass the Center Street Alley and King Street Alleyway. Lot 1N of the James Street is going to be closed for production as they're filming. And then film day number 2, which is Thursday, is going to take place the intersections of Robert Street, North, and Orchard, and the stretch of North from Orchard to Franklin Square will be closed to parking, but also intermittently it will be closed to traffic because the opening scene of the movie is going to be that section of North Street. That's what they've been telling me, so that's what the big focus on, that section of North Street. Day 3 and 4, which is April 4th and 5th, they're going to be shooting inside Hope Studios. That's the studio on Fulton Street, the former Acme Bus Company building right on Fulton and Mulberry. And then day 5, which is Sunday, April 6th, they will still be filming in Hope Studio, but also they're going to be doing a scene, a Bueller inspired scene, when the car goes airborne. So that's going to take place on early Sunday evening. So everything's subject to change because you got weather, you got, whatever comes up, but it's exciting. The businesses I know are super excited, and they're going to be using some of the facades or storefronts. They're going to be decorating as well. So we're looking forward to this. I want to also thank the Orange County Film Office, who we work closely with when the scouts are in town or around our area. They directed or sent them our way. So again, this is super cool and exciting, and we're looking forward to it.
Awesome.
If you have any questions?
Any question for Maria? Alderman Kleiner.
Yes, the Fireman Joe, and I didn't ask the mayor because I thought you would speak about this, the dedication that has been moved because we advertised it as being Thursday.
Right, I believe they're moving it because of weather. Because we had made arrangements with the folks involved in that. We made arrangements with the filmmakers and them. But I believe they're moving it because of weather. Correct, Mayor?
Okay, so it's
Yeah, for
So-
next,
April 8th.
April 8th,
April 8th and the same time, what the time, what was the time?
6:30.
6:30.
6:30. Okay, thank you.
Yep,
Okay. Thank you, Maria.
thank you.
DPW Commissioner.
Yeah, good evening, all. I want to start off with mentioning a dear code enforcement officer that has passed away. He was a very good, effective code enforcement officer, professional, and but life has its own burdens sometimes, and we all deal with it different ways, but we're going to miss Dave Ramkasoon very much, and I'm going to miss him personally. And that's all. I wanted to bring this to your attention and to the public who has dealt with him. So the reservoir level, Alderman Massey, we are at 100% capacity, over even 100% capacity. The courthouse construction is moving very well, moving forward. And the third item is the traffic operations is going to start very soon with the pedestrian crossing in there, waiting for temperature at night to be at 50 degrees so we can start putting the pedestrian crossing, the liner, the brick-looking liner. And the mayor has reported to you on everything else. If you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer them. Any questions about the parking garage, the recommendation of award? Okay.
Thank you, Jacob.
Yep.
City Clerk,
Nothing this evening, thank you.
any question for the City Clerk? Mayor, I just had a question about the follow-up on Knapp Avenue fire.
Yeah, 8 Napa Avenue.
8 Knapp Avenue.
Yeah, actually, I have to give some credit to Alex Smith, which
Oh,
I
no.
usually don't like to do. But he was relentless on this issue, and they were supposed to begin today. Jacob tells me they are in town, the demo company. It was a foreclosure. Deutsche Bank took it over. So, excuse me. So the process has begun. Permits are being taken out, and it should be down very shortly.
Okay. Thank you. All right, remarks of Alderman. Alderman Tobin,
Nothing this evening.
Alderman Johnson,
Nothing this evening.
Alderman Ray, Alderman Kleiner.
Too fast. We will have a Second Ward constituents meeting coming up. That's on April 14th, and that's also our set-out day in the Second Ward for our bulk pickup. Saturday, April 5th, is a national day of protest. It's called Hands Off, and Middletown will be having taking part in that from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That'll be at John Degnan Square. So I hope people come out for that. I just wanted to mention that I was talking with a friend in California a couple of weeks ago, and everybody knows what I said about Elon Musk from starting last summer. But I was mentioning Elon Musk and fascism in the same word and in the same sentence, and suddenly an AI voice came on the phone and said, that kind of language is not acceptable, and ended my phone call on my cell phone, on my Spectrum little flip-top cell phone. So just in case you don't think they're listening, they are. And there are things that you just can't say, and they're trying to make protest speech, and protests and, free speech, it's trying to make it illegal. So that's what, besides, I call DOGE the Department of Government Evisceration, because that's basically what they're trying to do, and the billionaires are trying to take the money away from everyone else. So we don't have any of our Republican cowards in Congress standing up and stopping them. So that's how I feel. I'm calling them out, and what good it will do, but we can at least, the way they've been all around the country, come out and say, enough is enough. Thank you.
Alderman Green.
Thank you. Yes, hope to see everyone here on the 14th for our constituents meeting. Also, just to reiterate that you put your items out on Sunday the 13th in the second ward. Please, if you've already done so, bring them back in because it's a ways away and it is cluttering the sidewalks. I've noticed a few homes, so please don't put your stuff out yet in the second ward. I know we're all eagerly anticipating getting everything out from spring and spring cleanup, but got to be a little more patient. Thank you.
Alderman Witt.
I have nothing this evening.
Alderman Massey.
Jacob, tell your people thanks very much. They did really an excellent job in the first ward. That's number one. Jerry, I'll test your theory. I'll call my nephew later on out in California. Anyone that has not signed up for the police exam, the deadline has passed. Please do not call the office. Do not come in. We can't accept any more applications. We had the notice out for over 7 weeks. So I'm sorry if you didn't get to see it or you found out too late, but the deadline has passed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. New business.
Good evening. We have a resolution sponsored by Alderman Tobin authorizing the acceptance of a $6,210 grant award from the County of Orange for stop DWI enforcement.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Tobin, seconded by Alderman Green. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Massey authorizing an agreement with the County of Orange to secure the county fire safety trailer for National Night Out Against Crime and Kids Day celebration events.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Massey, seconded by Alderman Witt. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson authorizing accepting a donation from the Middletown Business Improvement District for the purchase of a new license plate reader.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, seconded by Alderman Tobin. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderwoman Ray authorizing a transfer of $700,000 from debt service fund balance to the city match portion of the water system improvement projects Phase 2.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Ray, seconded by Alderman Kleiner. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner authorizing the adoption of the abandoned property unclaimed funds policy.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner, seconded by Alderman Green. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green authorizing a transfer of $999,977.50 for the courthouse project.
The resolution sponsored by Alderman Green, seconded by Alderman Kleiner. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Witt authorizing an increase in part-time police officer hourly rate of pay.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Witt, seconded by Alderman Tobin. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Massey authorizing a transfer of $121,914.59 from the general fund to cover vehicle replacements within the DPW fleet.
Resolution by Alderman Massey. Do I have a second? Alderman Tobin. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin. Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Tobin authorizing an agreement with Harry F. Rotolo and Sons Electric for an alarm system monitoring for all city buildings.
Responsible Alderman Tobin, second by Alderman Johnson. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson authorizing a public hearing on a two-lot subdivision, a lot line change at 15 Mercer Avenue and 16 Warren Avenue.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, seconded by Alderman Tobin. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Massey authorizing a public hearing on a two-lot subdivision at 20.5-30 Low Avenue, front and rear.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Massey, second by Alderman Witt. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Ray authorizing the awarding of construction bids and project funding for the parking garage project.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Ray, seconded by Alderman Kleiner. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. That's it for new business.
Audit.
Mr. President, I move the accounts be audited, the claims be adjusted, and the city treasurer be authorized to issue warrants for their payment.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Massey, seconded by Alderman
Second.
Johnson. Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries.
For the good of the city, do we have anybody?
There's nobody. Kevin Gomez.
Jesus God.
Come on, Kevin.
I'll make it short like always, right? Good evening, everyone. Yeah. These last two, Kevin Gomez, Ward 2 resident, these past 2 weeks mark the 5th anniversary of the COVID shutdown when Governor Cuomo called on New York for its great pause. It was a period where, as a community, we showed great resilience, even though we went through the valley of the shadow of death, and we were able to come out. But I think as in the coming months, years, it'll be prudent if the government at the county, municipal level, the different towns, cities, and villages will come together to assess how did we coordinate, where did we do it right, where did we do it wrong, where we could do it better. The reason for that is, as we know, one thing's for sure, pandemics happen from time to time. And this past Friday, I happened to listen to a presentation by the borough historian of New York County, Robert Snyder, at Albany SUNY University. And they did during the pandemic, they began doing an oral history, gathering from the different people's experiences. I think it's time that at some point down the road, we start looking at and come together and see how we could prepare ourselves, because as I say, those who don't learn from the mistakes of history are bound to repeat it. And so when we have a future pandemic or a future emergency, we could do better and come out even stronger. That's all. Thank you.
The city of Middletown never closed, and the council was the only council in New York State that stayed open.
Remember our little penalty boxes?
That's it. Oh, yeah. And the penalty box. Move for adjournment?
That's what it felt like in there.
Aye.